It all starts on a nice sunny day inside a plane where the situation is not so nice. This guy is an assassin under the name of Wolf who was hired to assassinate these people. Just as expected from the best assassin in this organization, the mission was completed quickly. But all was not going well for him because all of a sudden, he realizes that something is going on and not exactly good. Even though Wolf has worked hard for many years in this organization, the big shots decided that he knows too much, and they got rid of him by blowing up the plane along with all those secrets. We barely knew him and now he's gone. But his story doesn't end here, because suddenly he wakes up as this guy. He is confused as he obviously should be dead. The plane he was on was blown to pieces. He wonders where he is. After that, a sudden headache gives him the context of the whole situation. 100 years ago, with a blood moon hanging in the sky and spatial rifts opening up, the age of monsters began and descended on the world. Countless monsters devastated the entire world, causing panic and despair in humans. Humans had nothing to do against the monsters. The available weapons did not do any harm to those entities, so they were facing what could have been the mass extinction of the human race. In fact, it almost happened, because in only 10 years there were only 100 million humans left. But when humanity was on the brink of extinction, the birth of the Beast Soul Masters brought a ray of hope to all of humanity. Gradually, people awakened powers of different beasts, such as this one, which literally is an elephant that solves things by punching. With each successive generation of Beast Soul Master inheriting and developing their skills, humanity created a civilization more than prepared to face the invasion of monsters. Humanity has a new hope, but as all that glitters is not gold, the awakened Beast Soul has ranks from the lowest, which is E rank, to the highest, which is SS of rank, and he, Lin Yuan's Beast Souls, is the lowest rank. He has no family or friends. He needs to rely on Beast Soul to prove himself, yet he was greeted with ruthless ridicule. They laughed at him for being of the lowest rank and being weak. They even told him to stop going to school. He was bullied by everyone whenever they wanted. He felt like a piece of trash, thrown aside mercilessly by the world. This idiot beat him by threatening him not to look for Sumu Usui anymore, or else he would end up beating him to death. There he realizes that he has traveled. God has had mercy on him and has given him the chance to face a different fate than being used by other people like in his previous life. Who told him all this was none other than the original owner of the body, who asked Lin if he was someone abandoned like him. Lin could not move his body, while the one in front of him gave him the chance to leave this cruel world. Lin asks him if he will leave just like that without taking revenge, but he is dead, so he can't do it. Now his body is being taken over by someone else. Lin tells him that just because they have taken pity on him doesn't mean he is weak. He has no reason to admit defeat or let the world decide his destiny. So he wants to change his fate and decide it for himself. He asks Lin if it doesn't seem painful to have to live again after being abandoned in such a ruthless way, but Lin again makes it clear that he intends to live. The former owner of the body tells Lin that if he stays in that junk body, sooner or later he will end up like him, but Lin tells him that he doesn't believe that junk is junk forever. He will prove to the world that he is capable of deciding his own destiny. The former owner of the body says goodbye to Lin, but not before telling him to remember everything he said, to take revenge for him. From now on, he will be the real Lin Yuan. Moments later, Lin can move. He will start to plan his revenge. But first, he must find a way to become stronger. And according to the rules of that world, E ranks can only do low-paid jobs. So he decided to go back to doing his past job, become an assassin. Next, the system detects Lin and activates. He has been linked to monster evolution and was given an E-rank black lizard whose attacks are currently bite and claw attack. Lin wonders what that is. Moments later, the system takes the form of this cute lizard. His name is Xiao Hailong. From now on, he will accompany Lin and watch him grow slowly until he becomes stronger. Understanding things a bit more, Lin gets going as he has something important to do now. From there, we see this cute girl whose name is Sumu Iksu being bothered by the asshole that you just came in a few moments ago. He wants to date her using whatever method he can. Tremendous simp. On top of that, he has an army of bald guys with glasses. Mugsui tells him to stop dreaming as she would never go out with him. She's an S rank who woke up not long ago. The guy tells Mugsui that he also beat up Lin. This makes her furious, and the guy tells her that she now has no choice but to go out with him. Or so he thought, because suddenly, through the army of baldies, Lin shows up to beat the scumbag back. Of course, the baldies won't stand idly by and try to save their leader. Seeing the guy hit his face on the ground, he orders all the baldies to kill Lin. That's why they all take his forms to fight an elephant. I don't know what that is. I guess a bull, a rhino turtle, and a wolf with a beak. Seeing how they transformed, Lin also wants to do it, but Hai Long tells him that his beast is just a weak black lizard. He has to devour to get evolution points and win fights to be rewarded. So Lin decides to use his normal body to fight. Hai Long thinks that's crazy, but Lin was a killer in his past life. So there's no reason not to fight. The group attacks Lin, even though the guy thinks Lin is finished. The truth is that after all the fog goes away, we see that Lin managed to position himself on top of the wolf, and moments later, he breaks Lin's neck, easy peasy. Muxu is surprised to see that Lin managed to defeat a B-ranked Beast Soul Master using only his hands. Thanks to defeating that moron, Lin got a treasure chest. Hai Long tells Lin that he can get good things like super equipment or skill evolution points by opening these treasure chests. Then Lin opens it, and Hai Ling mentions that it's a random skill book. Lin will be able to get a random skill. Skill level will be from E rank to a rank. Lin only has a 1% chance of getting a rank skill. Lin touches the screen. Any skill will do as long as it's not an E rank skill. But he doesn't have to worry because he gets an A-rank skill, White Light. When Beast's soul fuse, Lin could emit high-temperature white light which has power to melt steel, reaching a maximum temperature up to 100,000 degrees Celsius. Hai Long is excited as Lin was quite lucky. He finds it so incredible that he even tells him that they should go and try in the lottery. But it is not time to celebrate because there are still these 4 standing. The simp tells his henchmen that if they kill Lin, he will give them $10 million. So motivated and blinded by the money, the bald guys in their fighting forms throw themselves at Lin. Muxue is worried and proposes to Lin that she should also fuse Beast's soul to help him, but Lin tells her that it is not necessary and to go far away. He can't let her get hurt, since she is one of the few people who treated the original owner of the body kindly. The enemies are right in front of Lin, who waits patiently to start moving. After several jumps to dodge the attacks he received, Lin prepares to counterattack, hitting the elephant guy from behind, making him buried and therefore defeated, thus obtaining another treasure chest. This time of black iron. These fools must not believe the big deal. It's not the same Lin you won in the past. Lin quickly runs towards them, and in the blink of an eye, he moves so fast that he manages to position himself behind their backs, and moments later he grabs them by the head and makes them hit each other, thus defeating the remaining 2. Only the simp was left, who begins to beg for his life, saying that he was wrong, but it is too late to ask for forgiveness, and he ends up getting beaten up. After it's all over, Muxue is still surprised with how strong Lin is, who tells her that it's time for them to leave. She's already calm because as things are, the simp won't bother her anymore in the future. Although she feels ashamed as she, as a S-rank talent Beast's soul master, didn't expect to be rescued by Lin. It should be the other way around. She never thought Lin would be so strong. Moments later, noticing how she was looking at him, Lin asks her if he has something on his face, as she hasn't looked away from him. She just says she wanted to thank him and apologizes to him for getting him involved in this matter. Lin tells her that it doesn't matter, since they are classmates and should help each other. Their Muxue is a bit disappointed since she thought they were friends. After that, she gets a bit nervous and says goodbye to Lin, telling him that they will see each other tomorrow at school. Even she didn't know why she was behaving like that. Hai Long tells Lin that he is quite lucky, but he replies that he shouldn't talk nonsense, since Muxue is one of the few friends of the original owner of the body. Since he took over this body, he naturally needs to protect her, and said, it's time to talk about more important things. Hai Long thought that it was just what he expected from a murderer. His eyesight and tone is so scary. From there we go to Lin's house, where he uses Beast Soul Fuse and transforms into Beast. Hai Long tells Lin that he's only fit to be a food in the monster world. I mean, just look at his form. He's like an iguana or something like that. No wonder those people said his beast soul is trash. But Hai Long is there to guide him. He tells Lin that he can devour and obtain evolution points and use those points to strengthen himself. Lin obtained evolution points from treasure chest just now by devouring. Hai Long means to eat meat. Beast souls are the same as animals. The first priority of a beast soul must be to eat meat. Hai Long tells Lin that he must remember to keep fit and eat raw meat. So now we see Lin in front of this raw chicken. Hai Long tells him to hurry to devour it to become stronger, so Lin starts to eat it. For the sake of becoming stronger, poor chicken. Even though he's dead, look at his face. After a moment, Lin completely devours the raw chicken, which made him get 5 evolution points, which Lin uses to increase his size. Next, he wants to order more meat. He wants to have a meat feast tonight, and the next day, after eating 100 wild rabbits and all the meat in the refrigerator, Lin's abilities in his soul beast form increased. Now he is a large-sized black lizard in a state of growth and B rank. Moreover, now he is much more muscular. Not only his level, even his talent has increased. Even though he's no longer a food existence, it's not enough. He needs more evolution points, and as his size became larger, he needs to find a place where it won't attract attention. Somewhere like a warehouse, because he has reincarnated in a world like this. He will go take a look at the pinnacle scene. Moments later, these 3 bullies arrive. This one is called Li Feng. He is someone who bullies Lin constantly with Jian Lei, and the reason they get together to bully Lin is because one of them is one of the 2 S-rank beast souls in the school, Wu Moxuan. They continue to talk to Lin quite aggressively, but he will not tolerate this treatment, so he tells them to stop messing around. They can't believe Lin would talk to them like that, but he doesn't bow his head and asks them if they don't understand that language. Muxuan finds it arrogant that the weakest of the E rank is so arrogant. He clarifies that he is able to kill Lin's black lizard easily by himself. Next, he tells him that the trash should stay in the dump and that the school is ashamed to have Lin as a student. So he tells him that he should better get a place to commit suicide and die. Unfortunately for this idiot, Lin has already decided that he will live well. Moxuan threatens Lin by telling him that he can make him wish to die. While Lin tells him that he is free to try, moments later, teacher Zhang Yu arrives and asks them to take seats. Moxuan tells Lin that he was lucky that the teacher arrived, but clarifies that he won't be lucky all the time. Hailong tells Lin that Moxuan is quite arrogant. Lin tells him that being S-rank he has the right to be arrogant, but he clarifies that sooner or later he himself will defeat Moxuan. As he says this, Hailong thinks about how calmly Lin uttered those words. He thinks Lin is an amazing person. Next, teacher Zhang Yu tells the students that the school will distribute cultivation resources to everyone. These are known as Beast Soul Crystal. Those are Beast Soul Crystal formed when flesh and blood of monsters melt into the ground after death, and usually are divided into top, middle, lower, and inferior grade. Hailong says that it contains extremely large amount of energy, which is suitable for absorption of beast souls and can greatly enhance the ability of Beast Soul. In the world of Beast Soul Masters, these crystals are like currency. The higher the rank of a crystal, the higher the price. A low-grade crystal costs about $1,000. The teacher mentions that the school will give crystals to students according to the awakened Beast Soul rating. This is also to make everyone understand that the world of Beast Soul Masters is cruel. Power means everything. The strong reach the pinnacle. The weak are eliminated. The delivery of the crystals starts by Moxuan, whose beast is the skeleton reptile king with S-rank talent. He gets 10 top-grade soul crystals. Moxuan is one of the 2 in that school who is S-rank. The other person is Mu-Xu, and the previous senior who awakened at S-rank Beast Soul, Great Golden Crow, was now a 9-star Lord Stranded expert. Some students were sure that with Moxuan's talent, if he works hard and develops step by step, he will be able to become a standard Lord Beast Soul Master. We continue with the delivery. Zhang Lai, who possesses Large Rock Beetle, a rank, is awarded 5 medium-grade crystals. Lai Feng, possessor of Hurricane Demon Wolf, rank B, is given 5 lower-grade crystals. Then we go to Lin, who receives 5 inferior-grade Beast Soul Crystal. Hearing this, the students started to laugh at him because they still think he is rank E. They told him things like stop embarrassing the school and do something else, but Lin accepts his crystals kindly. Moxuan mentions that those inferior Beast Soul crystals are full of nuclear radiation, not suitable to feed Beast Soul. He wouldn't accept that rubbish, even if they gave it to him as a gift, but he thinks it's something that suits someone like Lin. Hailong explains to Lin that the inferior soul crystal is actually formed after monsters' flesh and blood are being polluted by nuclear radiation, when monsters are killed by a nuclear weapon, but the nuclear energy contains great energy that can be absorbed by Lin's devouring ability, so it suits him perfectly. Moments later, the teacher wants to give Lin a top-grade Beast Soul Crystal to him in her own name. Lin thanks the kindness, but instead he asks the teacher to exchange that top-grade Beast Crystal for inferior crystals. The teacher scolds him. She knows that Lin wants to become strong quickly, but she knows that he can't feed his beast soul with a large amount of extremely dangerous crystals, so Lin ends up accepting the teacher's gift. Moxuan is jealous that Lin is given this deal. Top-grade Beast Soul Crystal is worth 10,000. Inferior is worth 1,000. That one can be exchanged for 100 inferior crystals, but normal people would not have so many crystals, so he asks Hailong what he should do. He replies that he should go to the Beast Soul Palace and exchange after school. In that place, they should definitely have many soul crystals. Next, Mu-Xu approaches Lin and asks him to come back together after school, as she has something to tell him. Mu-Xu heard from the dean that the boy who bothered her dropped out of school. Seeing her talking to Lin, Moxuan and his group are surprised that she is talking to someone like him. Sheesh, relax, they're just talking. Mu-Xu is S-rank and also possesses the 9-tailed snow fox. Moxuan can't stand her talking to Lin, let alone teacher Zhang treating him well. After school, when Lin was about to leave, he is intercepted by Moxuan and his group. He asks Lin what kind of ecstasy soup did he give the teacher and what dirty method he has used to get close to Mu-Xu. Last time, the rich guy, or the simp, rather, said that he would cooperate with Moxuan to make a scene to save the pretty girl to get her attention. But now they left the school, Moxuan's plan is thwarted. Lin realizes that Moxuan was the one who made the previous body's owner lose his life. Moxuan starts babbling that Mu-Xu should be with him because blah blah blah. We don't really care. Lin knows that if he beats this guy up at school, he will end up being punished, so he can't bother teacher Zhang after she treated him so well. Nevertheless, Lin doesn't bow his head in front of Moxuan and refuses to do everything he asks him to do. Meanwhile, he kept talking rubbish. He ends up saying that he doesn't want Mu-Xu to think that him being strong is bothering the weak. That's why he proposes something to Lin. In 7 days, it will be the beast trial. If Lin passes it, Moxuan will eat 1 bag of inferior grade soul crystals on the spot. However, if Lin loses, he will have to disappear from that place. Lin asks Mo Xuan if he is sure he wants to go that far. He replies that he is not afraid of someone like Lin, since he considers him trash. That said, Lin accepts the deal with a smile on his face. Moments later, he meets Mu Xu, who asks him what took him so long. Lin just tells her that he was delayed for something, then asks her why she wanted to see him. She tells him that it's no big deal. Her beast soul, Nine-Tailed Snow Fox, is her rank, so the school awarded her 10 top-grade beast soul crystals. So she wants to share half with Lin. This because she heard that Lin, being E rank, only got inferior soul crystals. She clarifies to Lin that last time he was amazing when he helped her, he was no weaker than a B rank. She tells Lin that if he trains and works hard, he can definitely become stronger. Yeah, we all know that. Lin thanks Mu Xu for caring, but he cannot take her beast soul crystals. She tells him that she has heard that the beast trial's difficult isn't easy. Even a B rank could fail. Besides, she doesn't need so many crystals, so she wants to give them to Lin to absorb. This will be a great help for her to take the beast trial. Lin asks Mu Xu if she's not afraid of failing the beast trial if she gives him those crystals, but she asks Lin not to underestimate her. She has S-rank beast soul. Even without the crystals, she will be able to pass. In that case, Lin proposes something to her. Although he cannot tell her the reasons, he promises he will pass the beast trial. And if Mu Xu also passes, then he will accept her gift. That said, this sounds good for her. Lin knows that he must prepare himself not to look bad in front of her, but deep inside, he knows that during the beast trial, she will be impressed by Lin's fighting skills. When Mu Xu leaves, Hai Long tells Lin that she cares about him a lot, but Lin asks him to shut up and take him to the Beast Soul Palace. So there we go. Hai Long explains that this is a palace dedicated to serve Beast Soul Masters and only open to Beast Soul Masters. There will also be the exam location of upcoming Beast Trial. But the first thing they must do is exchange the crystals. Lin goes to this guy and asks to exchange that crystal for many lower grade ones. The guy thinks Lin is crazy, but he still gives him what he wants, 100 lower grade crystals. But he clarifies that he needs $500 for handling fee. Even though that person thought Lin was crazy, he mentions that there is only a line between being a genius and a lunatic. From there, we go to an abandoned warehouse in the wild, where we see Lin's new form. He has changed a lot. He went from being an iguana to a dragon. This because he has successfully absorbed the nuclear radiation. Wait, then he wouldn't be a dragon. He would be more like a Godzilla. Anyway, Lin got 1,000 evolution points. A chicken gives only 5 points, but absorbing an inferior grade beast soul crystal will give him 1,000 evolution points. 100 of these crystals would mean 100,000 evolution points. Each level is distributed into 1 to 9 stars from low to high. Now Lin is a 7-star war beast after absorbing all the crystals. That beast trial will be no difficulty for him. 7 days later at Beast Soul Palace, all the students were preparing for the beast trial. Some of them were talking about how nervous they were. They could barely absorb all the crystals that the schools gave them. They also talked about the 2S rank of the school and wondered what their current level will be after absorbing the crystals. Moments later, Mo Xuan approaches Lin and asks him if his pitiful black lizard managed to break the barrier to 1-star war beast. Lin just turns around and asks Mo Xuan how his preparation went. He replies that his beast already has 8-star peak war beast compatibility. So he considers that passing the beast trial will be a piece of cake, but Lin wasn't asking about that. In fact, he was referring to how his preparation to eat a whole bag of inferior soul crystals was going. The people around were shocked to see the way Lin was making fun of Mo Xuan. Then Teacher Jiang tells the students to take note. Because the exam is about to start, they should bring the ID card and admission ticket. Mo Xuan, angry, tells Lin that he will meet him after the beast trial is over. Then we go to the 3rd floor of the palace in the exam area. It is Lin's turn. Before starting, they ask him if he has awakened E-rank beast soul. He answers yes. This guy wishes him good luck, but deep down he knows that if Lin is an E rank, he will not be able to pass the exam. The combat simulation is about to begin, and just like Sword Art Online, Lin appears in a virtual world. He's in a desert, where there doesn't seem to be any terrain advantage that he could take. Then appears before him 3-star war beast, Wild Desert Wolf, the first enemy of the exam. He quickly attacks Lin, who only thinks about how weak this wolf is and how easy it will be for him. Hai Long asks Lin if he doesn't plan to do Beast Fuse, but Lin replies that to defeat beasts of that rank, he doesn't need to do such a thing, so he will just use those monsters to warm up his body. Meanwhile, the teachers outside were surprised that Lin has passed the first stage without any problem. Lin continues to fight the wolves with his human form, making quick hand movements and breaking their necks. Back outside, this teacher asks another one to go and have a look as he has no idea what is going on. They can't believe that Lin, without using the Beast Fuse power, is managing to kill these 3-star wolves. Lin kept defeating those wimpy wolves using only his limbs, fist here, kick here. The teachers thought Lin was a real monster. There has never been a situation where a candidate didn't use the Beast Fuse and defeat a 3-star war beast rank wild wolf. This is something that has never been seen in all of history. This teacher thinks Lin is cheating, since the goal of the test is to test his beast soul's power, but Lin is not using them at all. This other teacher mentions that although it seems a bit unruly, it is not considered cheating. They have to see if Lin is able to clear all 3 stages. If Lin can't do it, he will not be considered as having complete the beast trial. The first 2 stages is to let the candidate adapt to the combat rhythm, while the 3rd stage is what decides if you pass or fail the test. This professor mentions that it is almost impossible to clear the 3rd stage without resorting to the power of the beast's soul. Even with the overwhelming power that Lin is showing right now, according to the professor, it is impossible for him to clear the 3rd stage like this, so he thinks it is a pity. His beast soul talent rating is only E rank, so if his beast soul is stronger, Lin would have a bright future. Just wait a little bit, teacher. You will see what Lin is capable of, and speaking of him, back to the test, he has already defeated all the wolves. Hai Long tells him not to be careless, as this is just the beginning. The real trial starts now. Moments later, Lin comes face to face with a giant wolf. It's a 6-star war beast rank Wild Wolf King. Lin is surprised, but for the best, because if someone wants to defeat 6-star war beast, they would need a high rank beast soul talent. So no wonder they say only a rank or above beast soul consider as genius, and only they can pass the beast trial in the first year. That said, it's time for Lin to show his true power. So if he uses Beast Fuse, Hai Long gets excited. As finally Lin will use it, Lin starts to transform into a large black lizard. He's now a 3-star beast general, and his skill has evolved to incandescent light. Yeah, he kinda looks like Godzilla. What is he gonna use? Atomic breath? Well, it could be. Let's remember he ate a lot of crystals with nuclear energy. Hai Long mentions that Lin finally left the war beast rank and reached a higher rank. He entered a new start. Lin starts roaring to impose his power. He didn't mind at all to have the weakest lizard beast soul. Even if he is a lizard, if he trains very well, he can become a Godzilla. He's much bigger than the 6-star war beast King Wolf. Meanwhile, the teachers outside couldn't stop being surprised. Are they seeing it wrong? Is that giant lizard really an E rank? They think they are seeing wrong or something like that, so they end up calling more teachers to see and confirm if the information they have is correct. That lizard is definitely not an E rank. It took them a while to realize that, taking into account Lin's size, he is at least a beast general rank. It is a huge difference if you compare him to an E rank person. They think it's scary since it's only been a few days since Lin awakened the beast soul, and now he already has beast general rank compatibility. It's at least an S rank talent. No, even an S rank would have a hard time with something like that. If beyond that, it's SS rank or even SS rank. This little wolf has nothing to do against Lin but to tremble in fear of the huge difference in size and power. Even so, the wolf doesn't give up and prepares to attack Lin. After all, it is like an NPC. So when the wolf attacks, it doesn't even manage to reach Lin, who with a single blow with his claws managed to defeat the 6-star wolf, causing shock to all the teachers watching the fight. How is it that Lin was able to instantly defeat a 6-star war beast with a single blow? This teacher asks the other teacher to stay there and continue recording the data, while he goes to the chief examiner to tell him about this situation. This time, Zhenhai City, which I guess is the city where they live, finally has a genius capable of shocking everyone. So the teacher is quite excited about this and is going to tell his superior. Back to the exam, the wolves keep coming. This time they do it in packs. Don't they get tired of dying? Lin has already killed the same wolf about 30 times. As for Lin, he was quite disappointed as the difficulty of this exam was being almost 0. Meanwhile, the 4th stage of the beast trial was about to start. But stop there. Weren't there only 3 stages? Well, Hai Long explains that the first 3 stages are just across the passing line, so after that, Lin can continue to challenge and get better results. This is because many famous schools need to refer to the grade of the beast trial when recruiting beast soul masters. Lin is in front of 6-star Wild Wolf King and 10 3-star Wind Wolf. So it seems like this level is to test the ability of beast soul masters to fight on the spot, but Lin doesn't take a step back. He considers this is too easy for him. Lin attacks from a distance using probably atomic breath, but with a different name, hitting many wolves. Then he quickly approaches them and starts hitting them up close, smashing their heads and roaring into the air like Godzilla. Lin wonders how many stages this beast trial will have. From there we meet the head examiner, Zhao Shanhe, who asks what's happened to make them go looking for him in trouble. He mentions that during the counseling period, the Invigilator cannot leave the Invigilator area without authorization. But this is important. The professor mentions that there is a candidate whose performance is not at all normal. So they wanted Shanhe to come and take a look, and that the talent rating of Lin is not the same as what he has demonstrated. Shanhe mentions that it is normal, as some people sometimes perform better during a real combat. In the exam, B rank might even have a rank or higher performance. There would be nothing to be impressed about, except that Lin is supposed to be E rank. At such a rank, a person shouldn't even dare to participate in the beast trial. Shanhe is upset because they made him come for someone of E rank, but the teachers ask him to see first before coming to a conclusion. Shanhe asks if Lin was able to pass the beast trial. Well, Let him see for himself. Then he is surprised and now refuses to believe that Lin is an E-rank candidate. Now Shan should know why he was called here. At this point, Lin is facing stage 10 of the beast trial. This is already the last stage with extremely high difficulty, because 10 Wild Wolf King all have 7-star War Beast rank compatibility. If Lin passes the 10th stage, that should prove in everyone's eyes that he has the Beast General's compatibility. Shang-He mentions that Lin would not only prove that, but he would become a target that all famous school will want to have, someone capable of passing 10 stages of the Beast Trial exam without any exception. They are geniuses. Shang-He mentions that Lin will be at least a Lord rank Beast Soul Master, even hoping to become a Royal rank Beast Soul Master. This causes an even bigger impression than these two teachers already had. But Shang-He doesn't want to jump to conclusions. It will all depend on whether Lin is able to clear the 10th stage. Back to the simulation, Lin thought the last stage would at least have general rank monster, but it's only 10 Wild Wolf Kings. Yes, he's still disappointed. He's only facing pure trash from his point of view, so he prepares to take out all those wolves. No matter how many of them go against Lin, they won't be enough to defeat him. Moments later, all the remaining wolves attack at once and bite Lin, but his stamina is terrifying. He is being able to withstand many attacks simultaneously from 7-star War Beasts, attack, defense, speed, explosive power. All these are at a very high level in Lin. I think it's pretty clear that Lin is no longer any rank. Lin is destroying all those high-level wolves as if nothing, leaving only a trail of blood. Moments later, there are 6 more wolves left. But that said, they are no match for Lin. Just look at the size difference. It's completely abysmal. And that's only in size. The power difference is even bigger. Next, Lin begins to gather energy in his mouth. Moments later, he kills all the remaining wolves with just one breath, atomic breath. Well, no, it's actually called incandescent light. Finally, Lin completes the 10th stage, killing all the wolves that appeared to him. The teachers were wondering what the hell was that ability a few moments ago that said, Lin has passed all the stages of the Beast Trial exam. This Beast Trial exam's difficulty is way easier than Lin thought, so yes, he ends up passing without any problems, and since he passed all the stages, it means he will get a very good result in the exam. So he starts to wonder how many people will be impressed when the exam results come out. After all, even Mook Swan, who is S-rank, couldn't pass all the levels of the Beast Trial exam. Lin wants to make use of this exam to let all famous school see that even an E-rank Beast Soul can also have strong compatibility. The exam ends and Lin wakes up. All the teachers were still impressed by everything that just happened. These are Lin's current stats. Although he says that the data obtained from him after the combat simulation may have some errors and therefore they are just references, only 18 years old, less than 2 weeks since he awakened Beast Soul. Even so, Lin has 3-star General Beast rank. This kind of talent is merely terrifying. Next, Shang-He congratulates Lin for passing all the stages and asks him if he knows what that means. Not only does it mean good results, with the talent and fighting skills Lin showed, Shang-He is sure that Yangjing University or Modu University will fight to snatch Lin and take him as a student. Having said that, Lin asks the teacher when the results of the exam will be out. The teacher replies that if everything goes well, the results will be released today afternoon. The teacher thought how calm Lin looked. If he was any other candidate, he would be very sure to be excited. If there is nothing more to say or do, Lin says goodbye to the examiners. But Shen-He tells him to wait. Then he asks Lin why his rank used to be E-rank. He asks him if there was any mistake during the Beast Soul Awakening. Shen-He clarifies to Lin that if he had any problem, he can help him to handle it, but not. Lin tells him that in fact his Beast Soul when he awakened was very weak. It is true that he is E-rank, so after that he thanks the examiner for his concern. The teacher asks Shen-He if he thinks what Lin said is true. He didn't seem to be lying, but what surprised Shen? How was Lin's mentality? He got an impressive result, but he didn't become arrogant. That's very rare. With this talent and mentality in the future, there will probably be another Beast Soul Master with great strength. Yes, that will be Lin, he promised. Lin goes out to where the other students are. They are discussing about how they did in the test. Next, Lin meets Mu-Xu. He asks her if she passed the Beast Trial. She answers that of course she passed it and she did quite well. She tells him with a big smile on her face. Lin asks her up to what stage she managed to clear. She got to the 9th stage. Not bad indeed. Even Lin is surprised. He never imagined that she could go that far, so it seems like Mu-Xu's compatibility improved more than he imagined. Lin knows that Mu-Xu wants to ask him about his results, but she doesn't know how to ask him because in normal conditions, someone of E-rank, Beast Soul, would have difficulties even in the first level. So there's no doubt later Mu-Xu will be impressed. Lin tells Mu-Xu that since they have finished the exam, they should not worry about the results. He will treat her to a meal. To congratulate her for passing to the 9th stage, Mu-Xu is excited about this plan. She wants to eat a bowl of malatang. Mu-Xu proposes to go to that shop that Lin took her to last time. She had been wanting to eat it for a long time already. Lin tells her that that shop is quite far away, so if they go there, they won't be able to get there in time for when they release the exam results. But she says it doesn't matter, as the results are confirmed. It's just the ranking. Lin leaves calmly, as he knows that if everything goes well and no accident happens, no one will get a better result than him's. Hours go by and it's 1 p.m. The results will be released now. All the students were gathered. Mok-Swan was making a fuss and being arrogant. He made it to level 7 in this beast trial exam. Same result as last year's first place. Poor guy. Once he finds out, I can't wait to see his face. Everyone was congratulating Mok-Swan for being so strong, and they are sure he would be a first place with such a result. Yanjing University or Moda University may be interested in him too. Mok-Swan thought that someone as supposedly excellent as him, as expected, he will be able to attract all the attention no matter where he goes. He made enough preparations for this exam. He asked his parents to spend a lot of money to buy beast spirit pills for him in a short period of time. These pills activate beast soul's potential. Mok-Swan asks his henchmen if they have seen Lin. They reply that there is no need to ask, as they believe Lin is looking for a place to hide with his E-rank talent. They are sure that Lin will not be able to make a big comeback in his life. They kept teasing Lin with things like if they were him, he would look to hide his face and find a place to hide. After all, if Lin doesn't show up, this is it. Mok-Swan mentions that if Lin doesn't want to show himself, then he better be a coward all his life. After all, if Lin doesn't show up, this is just what Mok-Swan wanted, for him to disappear and never be in front of him again. But dude, you don't know what you're in for. They hear in the distance the voice of Mook-Sui talking to Lin about what they had eaten a few moments ago, having a good time laughing together, which makes Mok-Swan very angry. He can't believe that Lin would appear in front of him, that he would also do it with Mook-Sui. Gosh, Lin, hurry up, beat this idiot up so he stops bothering us. Mok-Swan addresses Lin in a mocking way, saying that if Lin is so calm, it means he did well in the exam and he is sure he got a good result. And dude, yeah, that's right. We'll see your face when you find out. Lin just replies that he is satisfied with what he got. These idiots start telling Lin that he shouldn't be so modest when he should have worked very hard just to clear the first stage. This other one mentions that the first stage is too easy and that there is no one who can't pass it. Mok-Swan continues with his teasing and tells his mates to stop teasing Lin, because he is brave enough to participate in the exam even though he is E-rank. Mok-Swan asks Lin if he still remembers the bet they made. Lin replies that had he not mentioned it, he almost forgot. So he tells Mok-Swan that since he took the initiative and mentioned the bet, then it means he is already prepared to lose to him. Mok-Swan is annoyed with Lin's words as he couldn't bear to lose to someone like him. Moments later, the results come out and everyone goes to see them as they are curious to see who will be the first place. Mok-Swan is sure that he is the first. What he did not expect is that he would not even be the second. Actually, he is the third. This makes him upset. What other two people were left ahead of him? Well, we see the second place is Mook-Sui, who we already know reached the 9th stage. Mok-Swan is surprised to see the results of Mook-Sui. He never imagined that Mook-Sui's talent was superior to his, but what surprises him most is that Mook-Sui, having reached the 9th stage, is only in 2nd place. Well, wait until you see who is the person who is ahead of everyone. Yes, friend, the first place is Lin, who cleared the beast trial in its entirety. If Mook-Sui already surprised and annoyed him, now seeing Lin in first place makes Mok-Swan want to die. He can't believe that Lin has passed the beast trial's 10th stage with his E-rank beast soul. The other students start talking about Lin's feat. They don't even know him, let alone knew that the beast trial only has 10 stages, so now they know what that means. Lin managed to pass the entire beast trial. They wonder what beast soul did he awaken. Lin must be strong enough to even clear the 10th stage. The students said that Lin was this year's dark horse as he came out on top of the S-rank Mook-Sui and Mok-Swan. Although this does not make them belittle Mook-Sui's results, they are also amazing. Clearing the 9th stage of the beast trial is a great feat, but is a pity that her opponent was Lin. What they are all sure of is that the most embarrassed by this result is Mok-Swan. And they are right. He was babbling all this time that he would be in first place, and now that the results are in, he's not even in 2nd place. What a loser. Lin tells Mok-Swan that since he lost, he must keep the promise they bet. Lin asks him if he wants to eat the whole bag of inferior crystals raw or if he wants some spice. Moments later, the students finally meet Lin and are excited to see him. As for Mook-Sui, she is surprised too. She didn't expect Lin to finish above her at all. But this explains why Lin didn't show any surprise when she told him her result. The loser Mok-Swan refuses to accept the reality and makes a fuss. He asks Lin how he got those results with E-rank talent. He thinks that somehow Lin has cheated. As he is accusing him loudly, other people heard and they believe that Lin has really cheated. Next, Lin approaches Mok-Swan and asks him if he really thinks that he needs to cheat to beat him. Mok-Swan asks Lin that if he didn't cheat, then he will tell him how he managed to clear the 10 stages with an E-rank beast soul. People kept hearing more details, and now they knew that Lin used to be E-rank, so they start to really believe that Lin has cheated. But it's a virtual match where nothing can be taken away. It's impossible for him to have cheated. How annoying these Anks are. Hailong tells Lin that everyone is suspicious of him. Lin mentions that there is no rule that says someone with an E-rank beast soul can't clear all 10 stages of the beast trial. Mogzuan tells him not to be so arrogant and mentions that he will apply to the beast soul palace for arbitration to find out about the alleged despicable methods Lin has used. Hailong explains to Lin that if a candidate has doubts about the results, then that candidate can apply to the beast soul palace for arbitration, but clarifies that it is rare to arbitrate because of someone's result. Lin tells Mogzuan that if he decides to do that, then let him do it, but he can cheat and Mogzuan better make good on the bet they made. Hailong can't believe that Mogzuan is someone who has S-rank beast soul. Moments later, the figure of a huge bear appears to ask why there was so much noise. It was Shanhe. Hailong mentions that it is just as expected of the Lord rank beast soul master. Such a strong pressure, the students mention that they have heard that Shanhe has already reached Lord rank 7-star realm. It is undoubtedly a powerful existence among Lord rank beast soul masters. Shanhe asks who is the one who said he wanted to apply to the Beast Soul Palace for territory arbitration. Mogzuan comes forward and tells Shanhe that Lin's results seem anything but reasonable. He starts to cry because Lin only awakened an E-rank Beast Soul, yet he cleared all 10 stages. Mogzuan wishes the Beast Soul Palace would give them a reasonable explanation. Shanhe mentions that it was a coincidence, but he was present when Lin was taking the beast trial. It can be said that Shanhe monitored the entire test and did not discover anything unusual. If that is the case, Shanhe asks Mogzuan if he thinks he helped Lin cheat. Mogzuan says that he wouldn't dare to doubt the abilities of Shenhe, who is the pride of Zhenhai City, but he clarifies to Shenhe that the candidate Lin awakened lizard beast soul. It's rated as E-rank talent. Mogzuan mentions that he thinks everyone there knows what an E-rank talent means. This causes people to keep babbling nonsense. After that, Mogzuan mentions that he thinks Shanhe should at least show the recording of Lin's fights so that everyone will be satisfied. The rest of the students agree with the idiot Mogzuan's request, as they are also curious about how Lin managed to do such a feat. Shenhe mentions that he cannot agree with this request according to Beast Soul Palace's rules. He says that if there are no special circumstances, the examiners should not reveal the candidate's information. Mogzuan wants to propose something since he cannot show the recording of the fight. He comes up with a way to test whether Lin's results are real or fake, and the way to test is to make Lin fight against him. If Lin wins, it will prove that his result was not rigged. But if Lin loses, it would mean that his result is fake and he cheated to get it. The students around thought that Mogzuan would defeat Lin and expose him to everyone. Mugsui tells Lin that what Mogzuan is looking for is public humiliation, but it is fine for Lin. Hailong mentions that Mogzuan's trash thoughts are too obvious. He just wants to get a chance to defeat Lin and prove to everyone that Lin is nothing but trash. Lin says okay, that way he can pay him his debt. Mogzuan asks Shanhe if he can challenge Lin, as that shouldn't be restricted by the Beast Soul Palace. Shanhe tells him that there is no problem as long as he asks for the opponent's opinion. Everyone wondered if Lin would accept Mogzuan's challenge. Things came to this point, so Lin has no choice but to accept. If Lin refuses to accept the challenge, he will naturally be regarded as a cheater by everyone. Mogzuan asks Lin if he accepts the challenge. Mugsui tells Lin that if he doesn't feel too confident, he can choose not to fight, but Lin mentions that if someone comes up to him and provokes him in an arrogant way, forbearance is useless. The only way for Lin to make Mogzuan afraid of him is to teach him a lesson he will never forget. So just as we all expected and wanted, Lin will accept the challenge. People were surprised, and S-rank challenging an E-rank. This has never happened in the whole history of Beast Trials exam, but they think the difference is too big and Lin will end up being defeated easily by Mogzuan. But they seem to forget that Lin is the first person in Zhenhai City to pass all 10 stages of the Beast Trial, so they shouldn't be so sure of the result. Shenhe mentions that honestly speaking, this fight is not necessary since both of them are both first place and third place. They are geniuses of Zhenhai City. Shut up, old man. Let those two fight so Lin will beat up that idiot. Shenhe says it again. He can assure that Lin did not cheat. Meanwhile, Mogzuan was upset since almost everyone spoke for Lin and everyone helped him. He then mentions that since Lin didn't cheat, then he should fight him. So he asks Shenhe to be the witness of this battle, since he is confident that he will destroy Lin. Since neither of them give in, Shenhe tells them that they can fight inside of the Beast Soul Palace's arena and everyone who wants to watch is welcome. So here we go. Holy, this place is huge. It looks like the Roman Colosseum. How come they have so many students? Anyway, Shenhe tells them that if they are ready, they can start fighting, but before that, he must say the rules. This is only a spar. They can use all the power, but they must not kill the opponent. If either of them give up, the fight would end immediately. In the fight, they cannot use forbidden things to defeat the opponent. If either of them violate the rules, that will also be considered a defeat. Since they both understand and abide by the rules, the fight is about to begin. Mogzuan tells Lin that he will let him know that everything that happened today is because Lin asked for it. Lin tells him that he didn't expect Mogzuan to break the deal and make such a fuss, So he tells him that if he kneels down and begs for mercy, he can consider skipping the bet. Lin's words upset Mo-Xuan, who starts to transform. Everyone was impressed by Mo-Xuan's terrifying form. The skeleton insect king, about 5 meters tall, is all that can be expected from someone who is S rank. Mo-Xuan doesn't give respite and attacks first. Then asked Lin why he doesn't use the Beast Soul Fuse. Everyone wondered the same thing and still thought Lin cheated. Mu-Xu says that Lin's Beast Soul is only an E-rank lizard, although even she doesn't know how Lin cleared the 10 stages. But if Mo-Xuan dares to endanger Lin's life, and if Shan doesn't intervene, she will help Lin. Although she can't hear Hai Long, he tells her that she shouldn't worry as Lin won't lose to that trash. Back in the fight, Lin mentions that since Mo-Xuan wants to see his Beast Soul Fuse so much, then he will show him. And so he does. Lin starts to transform. Next we see that Lin's lizard form is much bigger than Mo-Xuan's transformation. Everyone was impressed. That thing is supposed to be an E-rank beast soul. Mo-Xuan was also surprised and scared. He has no idea how Lin could grow up so fast. But who said that E-ranks are definitely weaker than S ranks? If anyone cares about that, it's definitely not Lin, who is preparing to tear Mo-Xuan apart and embarrass him in front of thousands of people so that he would stop talking so much bullshit. Mo-Xuan didn't even have a chance to be surprised because quickly Lin hits him, although Mo-Xuan dodges, making it clear that if that attack hit him, he would be dead. Mo-Xuan noticed in that single attack that Lin has at least a Beast General's combat ability. I imagine he also noticed that he is Godzilla himself. But anyway, Mo-Xuan couldn't believe that Lin's combat abilities grew so fast in such a short time. Next, Lin attacks again so fast that Mo-Xuan won't be able to dodge it in time. But Mo-Xuan refuses to lose as he has the S-rank skeleton insect king's beast soul. He won't allow himself to lose against someone of E-rank like Lin. He prepares to attack, while Lin told him that he didn't think he would dare to attack him. Next, he holds Mo-Xuan's limb and starts to hit him while dragging him and lifting him up in the air. Then we see him hitting him back and forth as if he was a toy or a teddy bear. Mo-Xuan's bones were breaking. It was more than clear that he is no match for Lin. This fight was one-sided. The S-rank Mo-Xuan is being beaten without giving any response. The students witnessing the fight were excited to see some of Lin's power. That's when they realized that Shan was right, and that the reason he wanted to avoid the fight was merely to protect Mo-Xuan. Meanwhile, Mu-Xu was impressed. She knew that Lin was not weak, but for an E-rank to have become so strong is very, very impressive. Even so, Mo-Xuan refused to lose and tried to fight back, but Lin rips off a limb and tells him that he has already lost. However, Mo-Xuan has something up his sleeve. He eats this thing, that is a burst blood pill. This can greatly increase the powers for a short period of time, so Mo-Xuan's abilities increased from War Beast rank 8 to Beast General rank 3 star peak. However, not everything is rosy, because the side effect of this medicine will make Mo-Xuan need a month to recover. He is definitely crazy. He wants to defeat Lin at all costs, even breaking the rules of combat. Lin mentions that Mo-Xuan is just an idiot clown. Shen He tells Mo-Xuan that he has broken the rules and therefore lost, so he asks him to stop. But then he notices that Lin intends to continue fighting, and not only that, but he also says that Mo-Xuan is much weaker than he thought. The fact that Lin plans to fight against Mo-Xuan even though he ate the burst blood pill is crazy. But who was totally mad was Mo-Xuan, who wants to kill Lin. Mo-Xuan despairs to see that Lin is so calm, even though, according to him, he is now stronger. Moments later, Mo-Xuan notices that Lin begins to charge energy, yes, the atomic breath, but even so, Mo-Xuan insists on continuing to try to win. Moments later, Lin's attack is fully charged and Mo-Xuan receives it fully, sending him flying and subsequently causing him to recover his rubbish form, human, an absolute defeat. Shen He announces that Lin is the winner. He won even though Mo-Xuan broke the rules and consumed a pill to increase his fighting skills. So he asked everyone present if they still have any objection about Lin's test results. I think no one has any doubt anymore. Lin is much stronger than Mo-Xuan. Everyone wondered why the hell Lin was E-rank with such overwhelming power on his side. Shen He asked to take Mo-Xuan to the medical room. The Wu he has is not vital, but he consumed burst blood pill. Because of the side effect, he will be lying down in bed for 1 or 2 months. Because of that, no famous school will want to take Mo-Xuan next. Shen He congratulates Lin for winning the battle. Lin thanks Shen He for giving him a chance to hit Mo-Xuan with his skill. Lin knows that Shen He is strong and fast enough to stop him, but he didn't. Shen He mentions that he's just a chief examiner, but also Modu Beast University's recruitment teacher, so he asks Lin to go with him. And that's how the first part of this manhwa ends. Well guys, if you like this video and you want a second part, comment below with the word part 2, also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell and like the video. But most important, leave a comment. Until the next video.